Hi, my name's Cassidy Cushman, and today I will be talking about Emily Dickinson, which is one of the many authors that we covered in this semester. I'm really glad I got Emily Dickinson because I loved her poem, I'm Nobody, Who Are You, that we read in this semester. So, with a little bit of her life events, she was born on December 10th, 1830 in Amherst, Massachusetts. She lost a lot of people in her early life. In 1850, after suffering the death of her cousin and her close friend, Emily became very depressed and sad. So in 1867, Emily decided to stay inside and sort of avoid all others, and many called her a recluse and or kind of like a hermit almost. In May 15th, 1886, Emily died of what her doctors called Bright's disease, which from what I could read is kidney failure or disease of your kidneys, basically. So her father was Edward Dickinson, and he was very prominent in politics. He was a very successful politician in his lifetime. And her brother Austin, who she was quite close with, went on to graduate law school and become an attorney. They also had a super cute dog. His name was Carlo. He was a Newfoundland, which are actually really large dogs, if you ever look up a photo of him. So here is a sketch of Carlo that I could find online. And then she also had a sister who published all of her work after she passed. But I could not find a bunch of information on her, so she's not mentioned in here. So some of her personal interests include she loved writing, obviously. She loved writing poetry and short stories and various things like that. She'd often be writing in her room a lot. Carlo, she loved Carlo whenever he was alive. She would often take him for walks and play with him in the park, and she just really enjoyed having him there. Which, some might say that he might be like an emotional support animal for her, but that's just a conspiracy. She also enjoyed reading Emily Barrett Browning, which we read some of her work in the early semester. I really enjoyed her work as well. And then she also loved staying inside. She would often be in her room with the door shut, just staying inside. She didn't really like going a bunch of places. And then here's some of her work. So we have published in 1951, I'm Nobody, Who Are You? And then in 1951 again, Because I Could Not Stop Death. And in 1890, Dear March, Come In. And in 1951 again, I Measure Every Grief I Meet. So we did read I'm Nobody, Who Are You, which a lot of people think is based off of the time where she spent in her room and she was sort of like cramped up by herself. And she would talk to people through the door a lot. She wouldn't really leave the door open for people to just come walk in and say hey. So she, in the poem is asking the other person, are they just like her and stuff like that. So I think she was sort of just reaching out to other people who were maybe depressed or maybe wanted to stay inside and just wanted to show them that there is other people out there like them. So I really enjoyed this poem. And then here's just a quote from her. It says, forever is composed of nows, which means seize the day pretty much. In my opinion, it means go out and reach for whatever you want to reach for, because tomorrow's never promised. I just think it's a really nice quote. It's really inspirational. I just think you can interpret it many ways, but that's just how I interpret it personally. And it is from her poem, which is of the same name, Forever is Composed of Nows. So here is my bibliography. I have a bunch of sources because it was very hard to find information on Emily. She is a very hard woman to look up. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice night.